Predator Badlands is the third entry in the recent Predator resurgence post-Prey, all helmed by Dan Trachtenberg. This time, however, the Yautja at the centre of the story is the protagonist, not the antagonist, and is forced to fight against a myriad of opponents on the most dangerous planet, all while teaming up with an unlikely ally. This may be the most novel concept the Predator film series has had since its conception. Of the monsters inherent to the medium of film, the ones I consider to be the most notable are Godzilla, King Kong, the Xenomorph, and then the Yautja. So, by making the hero of the story a Yautja, a monster we've only ever seen as an alien monster with a bloodlust and an urge to hunt the most powerful prey, such as Arnold Schwarzenegger at his peak, Badlands had received my full attention. To make the concept more appealing to a Predator fan like myself, the Yautja present in the narrative exclusively speak in their native language, having it subtitled for audience comprehension. This might seem nerdy, but this is the kind of thing that I want to see. As Bong Joon-ho said in one of his many Academy Award wins in 2020, subtitles are a 1-inch barrier. Hence, when I became aware that a major American production, as part of an ongoing film series, would experiment with the use of subtitles, I was stoked. And it pays off greatly. The subtitled alien language hooks the audience into the diegesis of the alien environment, grounding everything which occurs in Dek, the protagonist's, perspective. The main attraction of Predator Badlands is Dek, and how a story from the monster's point of view can be told successfully. That comes from a combination of 3 factors: makeup effects, the performance from Demetrius Schuster-Koloamatangi, and VFX. The makeup brings texture to Dek's body with its musculature and scales, but what's more important are the 2 other facets I've mentioned. Schuster-Koloamatangi is Dek's physicality. This is a gung-ho action movie, and subtlety isn't the primary objective. Dek's emotions, even without dialogue, need to be conveyed to an audience. So the performance, in turn, needs to be physical enough for the audience to pick up on cues from the actor's posturing and body movement to get the general gist of how he's feeling, be it sadness, rage, or in the rare occasion, calm. Then, atop that, the VFX makes the Yautja face we all know and love, and transform it into something which is supposed to emote with a depth behind it, something which the other movies couldn't achieve with only practical costuming. Eye and mandible movement need to be coordinated in a manner where emotions can be delivered to an audience, and they do. Dek is a surprisingly emotive character and, thus, easy to root for as a protagonist. Elle Fanning plays dual roles as Dek's android companion Thea, and an identical model Tessa. Thea is the comedic relief of the movie, providing levity and an English-speaking character who reveals an amount of exposition to the audience, who may not have been paying attention to the subtitling. The boundless positivity and talkativeness of Thea may come across as verging on annoying at times, particularly in the beginning, but the disruption of the comedy into the darker tone of the movie's opening doesn't become so much of an issue as the movie goes along. Instead, it's kind of heartwarming to see a Yautja and a synthetic bond into genuine friends over the course of the narrative. Tessa is then the complete opposite of Thea, cold and calculating with only the mission of her corporate overlords as her motivation in quote-unquote life. With these 2 juxtaposing performances, Fanning's roles as both kind of blend into the movie's diegetic world, and the separation of the 2 characters becomes clear as day. Here is where I'll bring up the tone. Badlands, aside from its action set pieces, doesn't feel so much so like a Predator movie as much as it does a Jim Henson production from the 1980s, like The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, but with the characters brought to life with puppetry or replaced with CGI. No shade, I love those movies, but it's difficult to evoke convincing emotion from puppets. Badlands, in that regard, is a science fiction action-adventure movie with Predator flavouring. It is rated PG-13, 12A in the UK, and it does show in the kind of story it is. It's a story of found family and working together in the vein of Labyrinth. That may work for some, it did for me, but for die-hard fans of Predator, this might not be for you. The action doesn't disappoint. Yes, it's PG-13, but that's because of a lack of red human blood. All of the bloodshed is from aliens and synthetics, with differing shades of colouring for blood, so the stunt work and action go all out. Hits feel like they have weight, especially from the laser swords the Yautja seem to use now. The action is also inventive, using new tricks and potential ways to kill something which are available to them as a result of the alien environment of the planet Dek has arrived on. Slow-mo shots, the kind Guy Ritchie uses with his slow-down, speed-up effect, are used sparingly to enhance the sense of brutality which has been dulled with the lack of human casualties. Predator Badlands is a fun time. It doesn't really strive to be anything more than that. It's a fun, wickedly gnarly family film which just so happens to have a Yautja for a protagonist. Not quite a movie for Predator diehards, I'd assume, but for a change of pace and an innovation within the film series, especially after it's come back in full force this decade, I thought the change of pace was welcome, and I embraced it with open arms. Predator Badlands, 3.5 stars. Well, that's all. Keep on watching movies, and form your own opinions. See you in the next one.